Good morning, y'all. Gonna get you guys some impressions of how I did with moto hauling from Philadelphia, PA down to Tail of the Dragon using the Z-Trak system. So got a 2018 F-150 and it's with the 6.5 foot bed. Obviously, you know, the bike's a little bit long to actually go through this whole length of the bed, but we drove about 13 hours give or take, and great system because I was very anal about stuff. And you know, last time I actually hitched a bike onto a carrier and it became loose sometimes and stuff. So with the Z-Trak, as you see here, the height of it is actually perfect because everything is adjustable, so you can get, like, it's right onto the middle of the wheel. During the 13-hour drive, this did not come loose once. No straps or anything like that. You know, I bought the kit with, you know, the full complete hitching mounts and all the system, so it actually is compatible with the Ford box link system because it's still almost like an E-Trak. So you see here, this is actually from Z-Trak right there, and it's mounted right onto the Ford system. Holds on really well. So all in all, A+. You know, didn't have any issues at all. And I'm used to, you know, hauling dirt bikes around and stuff. This is probably almost twice the weight. Not bad, you know, very easy install. And with the E-Trak on the Z-Trak system, like, you can literally buy, you know, accessories from anywhere. Like, this is just a Harbor Freight bungee mount. It goes right onto the E-Trak system here. It's super easy to work with. Comes out in a second, you know. So everything we do, it's, you know, very modular. You can set it up for 1 bike, 2 bike, depending on the size of the bike, 3 bike, you know. I use just an S-curve ramp from, I'm guessing, Cargo Smart. Very easy ramp to use, you know. Already has like a latch system, so it won't, you know, just kind of spin out under the bike. And I had a good time, you know. Very easy. I mean, this model bed here is a 6.5 foot, so you know, you can do it with the 5.5 too. Just gotta leave the gate a little bit more open. Since I was going on a long road trip, really didn't want to leave the whole entire gate down, just because the plate, you know, I wanted to make that viewable. So what I did here is actually use the Z-Trak pin. You know, you could get this also from Harbor Freight. I just wanted to buy the whole kit, and came a whole bunch of parts together. It came with a retractable ratchet, which made it a lot easier, and pins and hooks, and the lower mount, as you see here, this lower mount here takes it a little bit down. So I used the retractable on the bed hook and the lower mount for these latching straps, because, you know, if the ratchet strap ever were to fail, I have another system that'll still hold the bike. So that was 13 hours with no issues at all, you know. And then the moto gate here, actually hook it through here and go straight onto the tailgate latch. So that worked perfectly. This is tight as it can be. No issues whatsoever, you know. Stopped a few times just to double check everything. Everything was perfect, you know. And bike, literally, if you try to move it, it'll move the whole bed. So good job, Z-Trak, you know. Installation was pretty simple, you know. Self-tapping screws. I've seen some folks who actually don't use the self-tapping screws. They'll use like a screw riveting gun and screw it onto the bed. That's a good way to do it too. You know, a lot of people don't like the self-tapping, but in all honesty, as the number of screws go in this thing, this is basically foolproof. It's not going anywhere at all, you know. Even with putting on a load, you know, kind of as heavy as this, you know, most bikes are going to be about this weight, if anything. But that's about it, guys. Have a good one. Say hell yeah to Z-Trak.